From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
The All Indiana Podcast Network.
This is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now the latest news.
Kylie Conway has all the news you need to know.
And more.
Please stand by.
Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Wednesday, August 26th. Another very hot and humid day. Highs will likely reach the 90s for the third day in a row. The humidity sticks around as well. Get ready, though. It's all going to move out just in time for a really pleasant weekend. Shootings have wounded at least 6 people across Indianapolis, including a 15-year-old since last night. Police say in some of these cases, not even the victims are telling them any information to help solve the crimes. And with so many shootings and limited resources, officers are getting frustrated. Police say the 15-year-old boy is in critical condition and an 18-year-old man is stable. Both were shot. At around 1:15 this morning, police say the 2 teenagers flagged down an officer near 10th Street and Linwood Avenue. They told police they were shot in their car a few blocks away near Michigan Road, but otherwise wouldn't cooperate with police. Investigators found guns in the area of the shooting, but don't know who they belong to. Officers say the 2 victims were number 4 and 5 for the night. Since 9 o'clock last night, police say 6 people have been shot. The first near 42nd and Brentwood, that person is stable. The next on Commons Drive near North High School Road, that person doesn't have life-threatening injuries. And then at 11:30, another shooting on North Graham Avenue near 30th Street. That person was awake and breathing when police arrived. And then this morning at 2:30, a 6th shooting victim showed up to Eskenazi Hospital. Police say they need help solving all of these crimes. They're urging anyone with information on any of these shootings to come forward. Call police or Crime Stoppers of Central Indiana. And Indianapolis is on pace to shatter last year's homicide count. IMPD reports 151 homicides so far in 2020, which is 49 more than at this time last year. Police responded to 2 deadly shootings yesterday, the most recent at the Teal Run Apartments near Midhofer Road and I-70 on the east side. It was just after 5 in the afternoon. Officers say a man was killed. They've not said anything about who may have shot him or why. Today, we'll likely find out if the governor will extend the state's mask mandate. He's set to give a new update this afternoon. The mandate went into effect July 27th, prompted by a rise in COVID-19 cases and an increase in hospitalizations. You can watch the governor's briefing live at 2:30 this afternoon on Wish TV. It will also be streaming live on wishtv.com and on our Facebook page. I'll also give you an update on the Daily 8 right here tomorrow morning. Today is the last day to apply for the state's rental assistance program. Governor Holcomb announced last week that applications would close at the end of the day today. The program started last month with $40 million available to help people pay rent. A separate list from the Marion County program is still open, but on a waiting list. Indiana University says it has completed all of its on-arrival coronavirus testing in Bloomington. In total, more than 39,000 students were tested. According to the university, 81% of the tests have been processed, and so far, 0.91 have come back positive. IU's Director of Surveillance and Mitigation for the Pandemic says they expected to have some positive tests and took the proper precautions. Students who tested positive were asked to isolate at home or on off-campus housing. Those who can't go home are in isolation dorms. A new report says COVID-19 cases among American children keep rising. The report is from the American Academy of Pediatrics and the Children's Hospital Association. The report shows that since August 6th, there have been 74,160 new cases in children. That's an increase of 21% in 2 weeks. The report shares data about Indiana as well. It shows that children make 10.5% of all the coronavirus cases in the state, with 3 known cases of a child dying from the virus. Hurricane Laura is getting stronger. The National Hurricane Center expects the now Category 3 storm to strengthen even further, likely reaching Category 4. We've been watching out of Galveston, Texas all morning long. It's an area that could see a significant storm surge. Hundreds of thousands of people have been ordered to evacuate in both Texas and Louisiana. And a specialized team of emergency workers from Indiana just arrived safely in southern Louisiana to help if needed after Laura strikes. 25 members of Indiana Task Force 1 will stage in Baton Rouge, then head to areas that need help. Team leaders say they got an activation notice yesterday afternoon, and the team was on the road within hours. The group specializes in search and rescue. Once the team arrives, it becomes a resource for local authorities to call on where and when they need help. Task Force One's leader says late August activations are common because of the storm season. The last major call out for the team was about a year ago for Hurricane Dorian. Firefighters in California are starting to make progress on some of the wildfires burning in the state. A fire burning near Napa in the state's wine country has burned more than 356,000 acres. Firefighters now say it's 27% contained. Another one of about the same massive size in the central part of the state is 20% contained. Officials with CAL FIRE say cooler temperatures and lower humidity are helping their efforts. The state is also in talks to get more help from the National Guard and other agencies. The state's wildfires have now killed at least 7 people.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Sue returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
Police in Wisconsin say 2 people are dead in shootings among protests in Kenosha. In all, 3 people have been shot. Protests carried on for the 3rd night after police shot a black man. Overnight, police fired tear gas in an attempt to disperse protesters outside Kenosha's courthouse. There's also video out there that shows protesters throwing water bottles and fireworks at officers. Police then used armored vehicles, and officers with shields pushed the crowds back. Wisconsin's governor has declared a state of emergency in Kenosha. A trial date is set for a central Indiana man accused in the gruesome murder of his wife. Crawfordsville police say Michael Parks first shot his wife Hope in the head, then decapitated her. Sheriff's deputies found part of her body last week on a bridge over Sugar Creek. While investigators worked the scene, they say Michael Parks walked into the police station to report his wife was missing. Police say they later found the victim's head buried in the cellar of the Parks home and other evidence tying Michael Parks to the crime. A judge set January 12th as the trial date. Another execution is scheduled for today at the federal prison in Terre Haute. Lesmond Mitchell is the only Native American on death row. He's convicted of killing a child and her grandmother. Navajo leaders say the execution would violate tribal culture and sovereignty. They're hoping President Trump will intervene and stop the execution. Mitchell's execution would be the 4th this year at the Terre Haute facility after 17 years with no executions at any federal prison. Now to the Republican convention. Night 2 was a family affair. President Trump's children took center stage, and from the Rose Garden, First Lady Melania Trump spoke. Last night's theme was Land of Opportunity, and there were 2 surprise appearances by President Trump. The pre-tape video showed the president issuing a pardon for former bank robber turned CEO John Ponder. Ponder is the founder of Hope for Prisoners, which helps people who've been incarcerated reintegrate into the community. The other clip was the president presiding over a naturalization ceremony. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo's speech entered some unusual territory. He broke tradition, addressing Americans from Jerusalem. In the past, secretaries of state have avoided the appearance of involving themselves in domestic politics. Kentucky's Attorney General used his speech to direct sharp criticism at Joe Biden. Daniel Cameron condemned the Democratic presidential nominee for saying that if a black voter is undecided, then they are not black. Here's what to watch for tonight. Vice President Mike Pence and Second Lady Karen Pence will speak, along with Eric, Trump's wife Laura, and former acting director of national intelligence, Richard Grenell. Joe Biden's campaign is recruiting celebrities for fundraising and campaigning. The campaign has 15 staffers organizing events for entertainment and sports stars to lead. Former Olympic figure skater Michelle Kwan is leading the effort, capitalizing on the open schedules that many celebs have right now because of the pandemic. Actress Alyssa Milano held a virtual town hall last night. Recently, Carole King held a virtual fundraiser for Biden. We will learn details today of how pandemic-era voting in Marion County will pan out come November. The county's election board will outline the number of voting locations, satellite locations, early voting hours, and important dates. Last week, county officials said they were looking at renting the convention center, Lucas Oil Stadium, or Bankers Life Fieldhouse as polling locations. Now to some business news. Netflix was reportedly approached by TikTok in a plan for the streaming giant to acquire its U.S. operations. A number of U.S. firms have reportedly expressed interest in acquiring the viral video app TikTok, as its future in the U.S. is threatened by the Trump administration, which has proposed a ban on the app. Microsoft has been the frontrunner in talks to buy TikTok's U.S. operations from the Chinese parent company to avoid the potential ban. Nike is set to cut ties with several big retailers in favor of a more direct-to-consumer move. Its products will no longer be sold at stores like Belk, Dillard's, Zappos, Boscov's, Bob's Stores, and Fred Meyer. The decision comes as brick-and-mortar retailers are struggling, in part due to changing consumer habits and the coronavirus pandemic. Obviously, the loss of a major brand like Nike would not be helpful in getting shoppers to return to stores. Salesforce posted record quarterly sales and raised its full-year guidance, showcasing the sustained appetite for cloud computing services during the coronavirus pandemic. Cloud computing was already one of the hottest areas in tech before the pandemic, and that momentum has largely remained as businesses have shifted to remote work and as people stuck at home live more of their daily lives online. American Airlines said its workforce will shrink by 40,000, including 19,000 involuntary cuts in October. The job cuts include pilots, flight attendants, and managers. Now to some sports news. Fake fans cheered on the first no-hitter of Major League Baseball's season. White Sox pitcher Lucas Giolito threw nearly a perfect game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. There wasn't a crowd celebrating, but the team came together. Giolito allowed only one walk in the fourth inning. He struck out a career high of 13 batters. The Sox play the Pirates again this afternoon. And just an interesting nugget to end today's podcast. The Notorious B.I.G.'s crown is going up for auction on September 15th. According to auction house Sotheby's, it's estimated to be worth between $200,000 and $300,000. The crown was used in the 1997 King of New York photo shoot for Rap Pages magazine. He was shot to death 3 days later. The photo went on to become one of hip-hop culture's most recognizable images. This has been your News 8 Daily 8. For Wish TV, I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
Check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
allindianapodcastnetwork.com.